Hello, spin dancin' tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Renaissance Solo Challenge Edition with me, BlueAnkylo. Just hanging out in Provoca, doing some dances. I wanted to record the next episode, and hey, look, it's been an hour, probably half an hour of in-game time, which means the grind was very fast, actually. I mean, sure, there's some resetting that's not included, but honestly, we didn't die all that much. I'm a little bit higher level maybe than I thought, but the thing was, I think I said I wanted to get to level 9, right? We were maybe almost level 8 at the end of the last episode. 9 was where I'm like, maybe we could beat some pirates. But then, like, level 10 is when you get another attack with your hit rate. So I'm like, well, we should get level 10, because then we're much stronger with the 2 attacks. And once you're level 10, like, oh boy, killing stuff's really easy. So we could grind. This is probably the highest level I've ever been before killing the pirates. I don't know, maybe not literally the highest, but maybe the strongest. 2 hits, 35% growth in your bravery. We still only have the 1 dance, but also level 10 technically was another plus 5% on the dance moves. So remember how like 2 ogres was really problematic last episode? Now 2 ogres is pretty much no big deal now. I think I've killed 1 green ogre and 2 ogres, in fact, although that was very close. That's still tough, but technically doable, and with good resource management. So basically, anything we want to kill around here, we can kill. I would even say maybe we could kill some things on the Peninsula of Power. Now, we're not going to do that because I don't need it, and it's slow, and healing is a pain. I have bought some stuff, but I don't really have tons of money, so let's not worry about that just yet. But yeah, let's head back to town here. Hopefully don't die immediately. I can probably get 2 hits in and then just drain dance it down. So yeah, we're gonna go do some pirate battles. As strong as we are, and I do have the access to all 3 armor. I told you guys I'd pick all that stuff up. I am still not sure how many tries this will take. The pirates, the dancer is not very good against pirates. The pirates are kind of built to beat her. I don't know if it's better to have 3 absorb or 4% more evasion. I think maybe 3 absorb is a little better because they do a lot of small damage attacks, not a few really large attacks. So we're going to get that -3 more often. If you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, Heavy Armor Master reduces enemy damage by 3 most of the time. Really, really good against goblins and kobolds and stuff that attack you over and over again, like a pirate. Doesn't really matter against the dragon very much. It helps, but it doesn't make much difference. If you're going to take 50 damage, 47's not much different. It could save your life, but mostly doesn't matter. So that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, I have not been doing stat maxing or anything. There's no new abilities. There's no new weapons. We just got some level ups. But it didn't take as long as some classes. So let's go, round 1. We'll see how this goes. I still think we need relatively good luck with the pirates either missing or at the very least not critting us, because we can't steal very much HP. We're going to get 6. I mean, that's better than 0, but not much. So we're halfway through our health. We've killed 2. It gets better the less pirates are alive. So this is not looking great. I really don't want to start using heal potions yet. I think we have to kill at least 4 before we switch to heal strats. Ideally, I think killing 5 is what I like to do before we start drinking, because the only heal an average of, what, 24 on average? That's like 3 hits, so that means 2 of them have to miss, or we're going to lose HP on average. So just keep an eye. We're starting at 34. We use this, assuming we live, and we're less than 34. So that was net loss. So this is why I think usually we could get lucky. Yeah, we're net lossing even more. I really think you need to kill 5 pirates before you have to start healing. Now, last episode, the odds were looking real low. Now, I think is reasonable. We could certainly get a couple more level ups, but the next time we get an HP level up is, I think, 2 more levels, although I'll double check here while this is going What level? We're level 11. Yeah, we just got a big HP. The next big HP level is 14, actually. So we would have to get 3 level ups fighting spiders and ogres, which we could do, but I would prefer not to. So we're a little bit better than last time. We were down 100 HP with 2 dead. Let's see how this goes. Like I said, I just need to dodge a little bit lucky here in the first few rounds, and then I think we've got it. But I think we have to attack and hope we dodge a couple, maybe get good turn order kill before it gets a turn. Oh, that was a pretty good turn. Let's... This is tricky. Because we've got Drain, it's only 6 HP, but I think maybe we can Drain again. Oof. It's gonna be tight. If I can get my healing potion off in time, we should be okay. Bad luck. Really, really bad luck. Hit for 12 and 10 immediately. But I think, like, that shows we're really close. Maybe I should have tried drinking when there was 4. Just drink all the time. It doesn't matter how many pirates there are, I should always be drinking. Yeah, I think that was, what, 2 attempts? I think we'll get this in less than 10. It's still probably, like, less than 50-50 odds, if I were to guess. If you did this 100 times, I bet you'd win. I'm thinking maybe 25%, give or take. There's a lot of random numbers for how much damage you take, how often you evade, if you go first and then you kill them before they even get an attack. Even your healing can roll between 16 and 32. So I guess we could do another drain on this turn, might as well. Might as well use it whenever it's over 100, because we're going to kill one every turn no matter what. Take that 6 HP. Just don't get hit. Don't get hit. Stop. Yeah. Maybe we don't even need heal potions, guys. It's very close. Okay, we got it. There's no way we get... He could crit us, technically. We're good. So there you go. That took 3 tries. That doesn't mean it's 1 in 3 in terms of overall chance, but still. Level 11, I think you could do this at level 9 or 10, I think, pretty safely. It might take 10 tries, but you'd get it. But honestly, leveling up was pretty quick, so just level up. Now, this is where I need to be careful, because the last time I played the solo dancer, when I talked to this girl, I did not get the dance. Now, she just unlocked... I'm gonna... Do I care about any of my past games? I'm thinking of making like a backup save. I can technically copy these, but... it doesn't. I don't like this one anyway. So we're making a backup save on slot 2. That way, technically, I can go back to before the pirates if I have to. But it's not going to be a problem, right? I'm Darylun, the dancer. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why it didn't work last time. Because last time in my other save slot that I started last episode, I only ever got this dialogue. I never got the teaching dialogue. It just says, hey, you can dance. And I'm like, yeah, but I need to learn the moves. And some flag got tripped. I don't know how it worked, but obviously no problem this time around. Now, this isn't the most important dance. I would say in our last playthrough with Dancer Party, this was probably the least used of the low-level dances, maybe of all the dances. But, like, the other dances were really good. Maybe I should have tried that one out, you know? Let's just save immediately. I know that's a waste of 50 gold, but money doesn't matter. And if you really care about money, just hard reset, go to the water, get money. Get money, easy as that. And because we're level 11, these fights, super easy, nothing to worry about. In fact, they might even be willing to run away pretty soon, so. I don't know, Kaizoku've got what, 60-something HP, 64 maybe? Something around there. I need to think of a good group to test out the quick step on. Theoretically, after we go to Elfland and buy a couple upgrades, maybe we could take that back and try some Power Peninsula enemies. Because if you can drop their hit to 0%, and they don't have any magic or anything, that might be a nice way to get some XP. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it's for science, of course. This is the ultimate dancer guide. Of course, I should be in marketing for my YouTube channel, right? Definitely do exactly what I do. Blue never makes mistakes. Well, that's not true. I have been known to make mistakes once when I was young, but just the once. Never got over it. Okay, so level 11, we never upgraded our knife. Let's rectify. We can get a bigger knife. It's 2 better. It really doesn't make a huge difference, but hey, we'll take every point of damage we can get. And we also get a couple little surprises. We get a copper bracelet, which is way better than cloth armor. 4 times the armor, and it's even lighter than a shirt. We're back to being nearly naked again. But also, did you notice, hey, we can get a scarf. So yeah, bards and dancers, I think, are the only ones that can equip those. Maybe one other class. Bards, dancers, could the rangers equip? I can't remember, someone else. But hey, plus 1 evade, 1 absorb, and 5 hit rate. So now we actually have more absorb than a thief would, because we get the +1 from the wool whatever thing. I don't think thieves can use these. Anyway, cool. The hit rate doesn't hurt. If you came here at a lower level, I think, because level 10 was when we unlocked the second attack. This means if you came here like level 7, I think, yeah, minus 8% hit rate at level 7, we would actually get second attack if you bought this. So if you killed the pirates at a lower level, bought that scarf, you'd be stronger a little bit earlier. But I think you would take a lot of tries to kill the pirates at level 7, so probably not worth it. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, wait. There's one more very important thing. Blue. I should save. Now that I have seen a dancer teacher not teach me a dance, I'm very concerned about losing them. It's probably like a 1 in a million bug. I don't expect it's going to happen again, but... And I have no idea how to replicate it, so I can't really help with the patching. But there. Healing walls. That's a good one. So... Now, we can heal ourselves and cure some statuses. Not really paralyze or sleep or confusion, but at least the first 3, theoretically. The only one that really matters is like poison, because it saves us a pure. I guess darkness is kind of annoying because it affects our dancing. And it does heal a lot, actually. This would have made the pirates really easy, because we go to half health and we'd heal to full. So that would have actually made it a lot easier. But hey, look, we've got it now. It's like cure 2 or 3 in power, assuming you've got the bravery to buff it up a bit. Which is pretty good, honestly. So, that's a cheap heal. So what do we do next? Well, sorry to say, I don't think level 11 is going to kill us, all the wizards. Maybe 2 wizards. But we're going to need some more grinding, and we're going to want to find a good spot for that. And I think I'm going to want, like, a good number of... Actually, we don't need pure potions as badly, but we're going to need a bunch of heal potions, and I'm probably going to buy a bunch of tents. Because I'm thinking of that power peninsula. Now, I'll get at least 1 level up the way I normally do at this point. So, when you're strong enough to kill... Oops, that was a mistake. When you're strong enough to kill, like, Kaizoku and ogres, which we totally are, this is perhaps my favorite way of doing it. So, start from here, and it's important because it's, like, the exact number of steps. Look. You get in the boat. 3 steps in the boat. Bam. Kaizokus. This still might be tough with 5. I don't know. We'll see. We're not quite one-shotting them. But they do have enough health that we will heal pretty well with the Drain Dance, right? So at 155, what do we get? 64, healed 40. That means that's how many hit points they have. 35? I don't understand it. It's magic. It's not like D&D where you roll for HP. No, 35... That's how we get 35 bravery for if you hit something twice, right? That's what that is. Anyway, nice. So then, now if we're a little bit stronger, like when I was doing my first pre-recorded grind, you could do this without saving. But right now, I'm not super confident just yet. Next encounter, north of the Elfland, not to the west, is, I think, 1 or 2 ogres. No green ogre. The green ogres aren't in this area. They're further to the west. But 1 ogre for sure is safe. 2 ogres, mostly safe. And it mostly heals us back up to full. And you don't necessarily need to use the tents if you're confident, but they're cheap. And we get 1 last Kaizoku, which at least they pay for the tent, you know, that's fine. Okay, so yeah, you get basically an ogre pack and 2 Kaizoku packs. It's pretty good for pretty good XP for your time. Now, oddly enough, it's not actually as good as where we were grinding against spiders and ogres, oddly enough. So if you don't want to do it that way, oops, come on. We could, instead of going into the water, you'll get ogre plus creep. This is maybe fewer number of attacks, and I guess individually stronger than a Kaizoku. You get less gold, but I think the XP is pretty similar, and it might be a bit faster. And we can do basically ogre plus creeps, ogre, and then ogre plus creeps. So it's very efficient to, if you just want to fight ogres, hard resets are your friends. But only if you go this direction. If you go the other directions, you'll get other stuff. This is what I used to do as a kid, basically. Because I didn't know about Kaizokus, or I guess I didn't really know about the hard reset. Back on NES cartridge era, I just fought here, basically. And once I was comfortable killing creeps and ogres, I'd move to the west and try to find the green ogre packs that are really good value. The problem is they're in the same zone as the Geist pack, and they suck. Even with a full group, they suck. I mean, they're not too bad with Fire 2 or Harm 2, but, you know. So I'm thinking maybe, like, 1 level, and then maybe we try the pop. I didn't try the Peninsula Power when I was doing other grinding with Dancer. What I actually did was the top floor of Marsh, because did you know that Drain Samba works really good on those green slimes, the mucks? And being poisoned is not a big deal when you can just cleanse yourself. Now, you need a lot of heal potions and a lot of tents, so I wouldn't go to Marsh until I can buy, like, 30 or 40 tents, because you're still going to want to save every fight. But, yeah, we're almost at the next level, so let's do this quick. We could go to the Dwarf Cave to get a little bit of money, if that's what you want. I don't really... There's nothing for us to spend money on. The Dancer is going to be a very, very cheap equipment character. I mean, the cat claws are kind of expensive, but that's pretty late game. Or, you know, it's going to be a while anyway. And other than that, there's not much else to buy. I mean, I guess a protect ring. I'm pretty sure we'll get the free gold bracelet before we buy a gold bracelet. It's not much else you'd ever buy. Couple scarves. I guess you'd buy the silver bracelet once, but that's not that expensive. So it is a pretty low-cost class to equip, I think. And theoretically, doesn't need heal potions that much either, and pure potions, because they've got a renewable heal, basically. So, pretty cool class. There are actually a couple achievements for, like, never using potions in battle, or just never using potions maybe ever. I can't remember how it's worded. Never use an inn, never buy equipment, or at least not... I think there's like a spending cap or something like that. It's pretty cool. I'm not worried. I'm not sure I'm going to get all the achievements, or I'm certainly not going to record them all, because it's a lot of grinding. But I feel like you guys can probably figure out how to get those if you're playing along. They're mostly not too difficult. Let's show off the healing waltz. 59 HP, not crazy, but not bad. I wonder if, like, should test out quick step, right? Like, so that should be at least 20% hit down. And I'm curious, like, how much of a difference that is going to make. Hits, so that's 1 hit, miss, miss. Kind of want to give them a couple turns, because remember how some of our skills seemed more effective than the way they were worded? Now, we're getting hit. That was 2 out of 3. That's pretty normal. 1. That's 2 out of 3 again. I I feel like one stack of this is probably not going to be enough. That's twice. Miss, hit, miss. So I think, if I remember correctly, Ruse is 80% evade. So you need 4 of these for one use of Ruse at 100%. So that's maybe not enough. We're literally going to die. Please go first. Alright. I attacked the wrong one. The one on the right is almost dead. Oh, come on. Well, that's what I get for testing out the hit rate. So far, my initial impression of minus 20% hit rate, I cast it twice. It didn't really make a noticeable difference. Oh, we went too far. Oh, that means I lost, like, 2 fights of progress, too. Dang it. That's fine. I think if I was playing solo thief, I would run away or cancel out this fight, because 3 creeps is actually too much for the thief most of the time. But we can self-heal, so as long as I don't mess around with that hit rate, we should be okay. I mean, that was over 100 damage at, what, 190%, I think? Oops. Ah, dang it. Useless. Probably. Prove me wrong, but probably useless. And they hit me twice. Yeah, it's pretty useless. There's got to be a point at which it's enough. Maybe if you had 4 dancers, everyone doing quick step, you know, something like that. Maybe a healing waltz, I don't know. It's a little bit stronger than using the drain samba to drain HP, I think. Alright, how are we doing for 500? Let's just save. I've already lost enough progress to kind of get a little bit annoyed, a little bit tilted. So what I usually do is, lately, is fight some Kaizoku. Maybe these are easier than Ogre Creeps, I don't know. Depends on how many you get. I do think they're a bit worse on XP. We could also try to find another, what do you call it? Another snake pack or something? Arachnophobia group. Yeah, 180 XP is less than 1 ogre. So you need at least 4 Kaizoku for that to make sense. And then the double ogre is potentially the best outside of the spiders, actually. Or maybe the large pack of Geists might be equivalent, but that's way spookier. This might one-shot at 190. Oh, so close. 96 out of 100. Do a little heal. And then steal the rest of his HP. End the battle at max, if possible, or at least close to it. There's our level. Agility, vitality, everything but strength. Well, such is life. Such is the life of a dancer. Okay, good enough. 1 more Kaizoku's, and I'm gonna buy some tents, and we're gonna go play around in the pop just to see. I'm sciencing more than anything. I feel like the odds of me killing the wizards today very, very low for this episode. I kind of want to catch you guys up on progression, and then I'm probably gonna have to sit down and do a bit of grind. You know, it's a solo challenge. I don't know. I could record every single step, but it'd be a lot of boring. Just basically all we're doing is fighting ogres for an hour kind of episodes. Yeah, we'll spend most of my money. Okay. We might not use heal potions too often. But there's nothing else that we need gold for, so might as well stock up. Yeah, nice amount of healing potions, a few spare pures, and probably more tents than we'll need. I could have reset for a, fine, you know what? If I fail to run, I will take your money. Kaizoku's it is then. I will force the issue. It's like a minor efficiency gain. I don't think it matters too much. I think the sea is all one shared encounter zone, so you can't change like what kind of sea encounters you're gonna get. Because it would be awesome if we could force sharks or a double shark pack or something like that. Whatever you can kill. Because they are... I think when you're solo, a shark is usually with 4 packets, 66 XP, 66 gold. So 66 times 4 is decent. I guess, but it's just one target, so they tend to go down pretty quick. But yeah, I guess if you can take out the arachnids, they're still more efficient. I actually never thought... I don't like the things that poison you because it's a waste of menu time. Especially when you don't have speed-ups. But yeah, I've never really thought of arachnids as good XP sources early on. They really actually are. Just... You know. This one's bad. Just run away. Never, no. Nope. So here we are. Let's see, one step. This is way too difficult. If anything, I want like one enemy. Give it to me. That's... No, because... No, that's impossible. We have no sweeps. Even if we could somehow lower their evasion, they're just going to frost breath us to death. By evasion, I mean hit rate. I think one giant might be plausible. No guarantee. And also, we're just dancing here in the corner. I do kind of like the thematics here of us just dancing on the Peninsula Power, trying to... Just dancing on the tip a little bit. One Tyro. Boy, these guys are rough. I don't know about this. I think it's just going to one-shot us. Well, not one-shot us, but pretty close. Because I think we'd have to somehow make him miss. And I don't think there's any way we could live long enough to pull that off. And he's just going to hit way too hard. We're not going to be able to heal. We're not... There's no way we heal through that. So we would need to hit him a couple times, get his hit rate down, and somehow survive. But he's got like 400 health, so that's... I don't think he's a target. So I'm really hoping for like one Zombull or one Giant. And I don't know how often we get those. Like, that's maybe pretty unlikely. I guess you can get like one Wyvern as well. Because the Tyro fight has a chance for a Wyvern and could be 0 Tyros, so... Yeah, I think the Frost Wolves is completely non-sustainable or zero odds. 2 Zombuls is still probably going to be way too difficult. I mean, you can get lucky dodges, of course, but I really think we would need to at least like 2 charges or so, and then we need like really powerful quick steps that really drop their evade or their hit rate really quickly. And like, I don't know how the math works, right? Like, let's pull up just a Giant, for instance. If they have around 100% hit rate, that's like 5-ish, depending on the buff. Maybe you could bring it down to 4 dances. That's even higher, 150% hit rate. So I'm assuming that's the number they're dropping. I just don't know the calculation. I mean, technically we have our own evade chance, which should lower it somehow. 111, that's one of the lower ones. So Zombulls might be a better odds, better chance. 106 on the Troll. Is there anyone else we fight here? I don't think the Frost Wolves are really worth thinking about. Yeah, there's not really anyone else. Giant with 113. I think you can get one Giant, and he hits probably the weakest of them all. 36 base damage, I believe, is definitely less than... It's close to a Zombull, but a bit weaker. Yeah, one Zombull, one Giant, maybe. I think if you could get... I can't remember if it's the Worm or the Wyvern, but if you had one of them, it's still fairly tough. Like, is it worth it? If you kill one of these, it's like 4 grand for XP, right? That's a lot of grinding if we could pull it off. But I don't know if we can pull this off. Maybe at a couple higher levels. I mean, with a chance to strike first, should we try? I don't know. She's definitely like a setup kind of character. Should have looked at how much HP the Frost Wolves had. Got one. If we can heal enough, maybe? It's gotta be close. Yeah, the Frost is what's really gonna kill us. That is 88 damage Frost. Yeah, if they don't use Frost, I think we might be able to take out 4. but in big groups, there's just no way. So here's the thing, giants. Can we... 2 is still probably too much. I still don't know if I like the quick step. Because if I was just, Sambaing them, we would be at least healing a little. Whereas we're kind of hoping... What is our evade? 24%, and I could get it a little bit higher. We're thinking, if my math is correct, 24% means the giant should have 90... It's not 90% hit rate, though. I don't know how that works. Maybe it is 90% or 89%. I don't know what numbers mean. Numbers are magic. But let's say 113, it says percent. Is that real? I don't know. Minus 24 is like 89, maybe. If I hit him with 2 dances, it's at least minus 40, if not more. That should bring him from 89 to 49. We still need 2 or 3 more. Like, yeah, I think we need to hit him with 4 hit downs for this to have any chance, and I'm not even sure that would work because I don't know the actual math for the rules. I would just like to get 1 giant just to see, or like one troll would be fine too, if you can get them. I think the Zombol pack always has at least 1 Zombol. So like, how many turns? We need like a couple turns of charging at least. I think you need 3 turns of charging, and then like 4 turns of dancing, and that's just like, there's no way we live that long. Like, in theory, that was like maybe 69 to hit, maybe a little bit less. Now they're at maybe 50 to hit, and we get hit. So yeah, I think we just don't survive long enough. I actually think with 4 dancers, if you want to do an all-dancer party, that hit rate down a dance might be very strong. Because if everyone spammed at the start of the battle, that might be enough. The thing is, our next dance is better. You don't have to worry about that nonsense. So let's say that's not going to work. Let's go find somewhere else to get some levels. And this is like a great fight anyway, so we'll just do this one. I think if I was fighting 1 giant, I might be able to drain Samba enough. Maybe. Because we could definitely be healing for like 80 to 90 on every second attack. Like, charge a little bit, Samba it up, and I think that would maybe be enough to keep us going. So I think it's possible we could kill stuff on the Peninsula Power. The trouble is, how often are you going to get the right encounter? What's the odds of actually winning? How much time have you wasted trying to get that fight, basically? How many ogres could you have killed? Because the answer's a lot. Oh, come on. Ugh. Well, so much for our ogre XP. I didn't think we'd get Geists again in the same spot. This is why you need all those tents. Now, if we do manage to survive the next dungeon, and are we going to be able to kill Astos? I mean, he's going to rub us, of course, as is tradition. Just rubs us the wrong way. But we aren't healing very much here. Come on. Top up. 50's not very much. Charge up a little bit. Big heal at 185. Yeah, decent. Just finish him. We're not netting a very positive heal off of that, so. Yeah, Astos, I think because the Drain Samba should basically ignore his defense, we won't need the crazy high levels the Thief needed. Because the Thief could only really hit him with crits. And that was rough. Bad times. But I'm pretty sure our dance will bypass that. So he doesn't have a lot of HP. We just need to live a few turns. And I don't think that'll be particularly hard. We're just going to need to live long enough, which requires avoiding rub, and then we're probably okay once that happens. Maybe dodging the slow spell will be nice, but... yeah, I think the hardest part will actually be the wizards. Another large group, basically. Kind of getting smashed even here. And I have all my armor now, so I'm not even, like, under-geared. But, hey, look, we just healed right up to full. So, yeah. It feels pretty good. Sure, we'll beat up some Zahogs. So I think my plan for today's episode will be get some money, buy a few more healing and tents. That won't take very long. And I think I'll show you... We'll make a couple attempts on the wizards, maybe get like another level up. If you haven't seen it before, I do think the top floor of Marsh is a pretty solid grind spot. If you're strong enough to win some of the fights. But we should be able to kill shadows. We should be able to kill mucks and scums. We should be able to kill... Is there anything else in there? We do not want to fight scorpions. We do not want to fight anything that can paralyze us. Maybe the Arbone. There's a large pack of Arbones. It's fairly rare, though. That's probably too strong, though. Gargoyles probably too strong. Scorpions for sure too strong. So it's still a lot of bad encounters. How far are we from 13? 3,600. So let's see how much XP we get. Kaizoku averages 3. I think it's 1 to 5. So this is exactly average XP for Kaizoku. Unfortunately, they're going to start running away quite soon. So the reason I suggest Marsh isn't just because it's like decent grind. It's literally because the enemies run away less there. So now we get 1 or 2 ogres. I didn't actually look at the number of XP we got. But 2 ogres is good XP. This is 380 experience. That much I know. And 1 more. I think this is likely to one-shot. Likely, maybe not. Possible. Yeah, the tactics on how to use your dances is definitely fun. Whether or not you should try to go for the kill or the heal yourself or the drain HP, it's definitely make for some interesting decisions. 390, sorry. And then this is the minimum size Kaizoku. So that's 60. That means we got 180 on the first one. So the average is going to be 180 times 2 is 360 plus 1.5 ogres is about 300. So this 3-pack of enemies off the hard reset is worth, on average, what did I say? 180, 360, plus 300, so 660, give or take. Not crazy, but it's close to an inn. It's safe. And they're all practically scripted. I mean, you can get random numbers, but you know exactly what you're fighting. No status effects. They're not running away from us yet, at least. And, yeah, no surprises. So, that makes it a very reliable grinding spot. And certainly, very repeatable. I would say, though, a lot of times when I'm grinding, I don't do the reset loop, even though it might be more efficient for time spent. It's just puts me to sleep, right? You're just fighting the same things over and over again. Maybe you just want that encounter table to keep rolling forward, so at least you get to see something different. But it depends on how much concentration you want to give the game, I guess. And the dancer kind of requires the dancer requires a little bit more thought than some. So maybe it's good to mix things, or maybe it's good to keep things simple, because I already have to think a little. If you had to come up with dance strats for every random different group of enemies, I probably couldn't chill grind as easily. Maybe more deaths and resets. That would slow me down even worse, right? Okay, this was a couple. This is probably more XP overall for this round. Level up? No, must be close. Oh, I got to level up on the last fight. I didn't even notice. Didn't I? No. I think we needed 3,000. I'm just like, how long will it take? Not too long. I got to 12. We went to the Peninsula Power. We will get to 13, and then I will go to the Marsh Cave. That's the plan. So how you guys doing? Enjoying the solo challenge? Hopefully. We're already 40 minutes in. Wow. I guess I've been, well, just talking, experimenting a little bit. I'm definitely kind of hyped to do a whole bunch of solo challenges. I don't know. I want to do them. I don't know if I want to record them all is the thing. Like, I want to see that it can be done and then prove to myself. But I'm worried that it's going to get really repetitive for the channel if I'm just doing this for however long it takes to do them all. Because as much as there are unique strategies for each solo class, a lot of them are going to feel very samey. That was the first fight. Now we need ogres. And we're going to get stuck at the same bottlenecks most of the time. It's usually going to be Marsh Cave sucks, Astos is terrible, how long does it take to defeat the vampire and the lich, and then how many attempts at earth, or how many attempts at ice before you're finally safe. And at that point, the rest of the game's pretty easy. It's almost always like that. I mean, there's some different challenges, obviously. Some places, some classes have bigger problems than others, let's say. But I think I have to show the Time Wizard or Mage, one or the other, depending on New Game or not New Game Plus. Because it is so, like, to be fair, like, I think I mentioned a couple times, when I did my first run of Renaissance for the channel, I had a Time Mage, just normal New Game mode. And I was using Float to kind of break the sequence order, which was fun. I hadn't realized at that point that the Time Mage is even way more broken than I thought. I can't even really list all the ways he breaks the game. But you can float over trap tiles, like the wizards, for instance. And you don't have enemy encounters when you're floating, which I did know. And you can also float over the holes in Ice Cave. And you can also cast time magic while you're dead, assuming there's more than one person in your party. So you could just warp, I think teleport, float, maybe warp spell as well. Just, yeah, you just use it if you're dead, no big deal. Nothing I would have ever guessed, but it is true. Those are the big ones. I did find a really cool one. I don't know if I should keep this a secret or not. There's a really, really cool synergy between Time Mage and Summoner. I want to show it off in a video. And I don't know how yet, or what I would do that. I know there's been a couple people, and I've talked about it a little bit, but like, what if we made like a 4-man all-mage party? And I've been trying to think, like, what would be exciting. I think Black Mage, because they buff intelligence, obviously. Maybe Red Mage as a pseudo front row for actually a little bit of armor for the mages. I like the Blue Mage. It's got Mage in the name, but it's very similar to Black Mage, so it's a little bit like doubling on the same thing. And then Time Mage, of course, but then that's 4 already. What about the Summoner? That's kind of summony. That's kind of black. I could switch the Red Mage out for the Summoner, but then I'm giving up on my heals and armor a bit. But then maybe it's more of a, like, closer to the Mage archetype. No half mages allowed. So maybe Blue Mage, Black Mage, Time Mage, Summoner is kind of the way I'm thinking at the moment. But I'm not doing a very good job healing up here. Whatever, it's no big deal. Just don't die. Just don't die. How close are we? Yeah, one or two more cycles should be good. I didn't make it to the Kaizoku pack because I wasn't paying enough attention. I'm just talking about my other runs here. So yeah, I'm trying to think of like an all-mage party, and given that the solo groups aren't that difficult anyway, 4 mages should be fine. I'm gonna reset for more. I said. Weird inputs sometimes. Whatever. 2 is more than 1. I hate you, game. So yeah, I've been thinking of like an all-mage party, trying to figure that out. I also think like an all-melee party to take advantage of the knight's attack up would be cool too. I'm not sure what that group would look like. I'd probably want like the Dragoon, because I didn't really bring the Dragoon on a normal run. Fighter, obviously. Maybe Dark Knight again. They're really good, although they work best with someone who can cast Dark, which we probably won't have. So that's a bit unfortunate. If I do bring them, what else is there? Fighter, Lancer. I mean, maybe I try to bring the Spellblade again, because I think I was trying to find a way for them to work in the last, well, a couple runs ago when I had them, and they just never seemed to find a good niche. Maybe in a group with no spellcasters. Actually, that makes some sense. Unfortunately, then, only one Excalibur, right? Can't give it to the Knight and the Rune Blade. But, I mean, there's a fair number of good swords at the very least. And the Rune Blade does get a whole bunch of their custom Gilgamesh swords, if you watched along. So, they have some pretty cool stuff, too. I could see Dragoon doesn't need to guard anyone. He can jump, and very strong. Fighter, I think Spellblade, and then, like, do I bring the Dark Knight? It is, like, one more fight, right? A couple more fights. We got a bunch of small Kaizoku packs last time. I guess, like, trying to think if there's anyone else other than the Dark Knight that would be melee, right? I guess the Monk, theoretically, but, like, they don't have weapons or anything. I don't know if I count the Monk as a fighter squad. I guess they get a little bit of healing and some AoE stuff. Like, they're fine. Is there anyone else? Beastmaster's a little bit like that. I guess the Hunter. I did not like the Hunter very much. Now, the Hunter would add something to an all-melee party. I guess they're not melee because he's got a bow. But without any fast casters, it's a bit tricky. But he does mean you can kill bosses, right? Like, the Hunter will be able to debuff any boss to death. So maybe that's like my backup, like, we'll bring him to make sure we can cover stuff like that. A little bit of versatility in a maybe we don't call it the melee group, we call it the martial group. We got swords, we got lances. I guess you could bring the Beastmaster to represent axes. And technically gives you access to spellcasters. Because you can, man, we still didn't actually get enough XP. Funnily enough, this guy will do the job. Yeah, because the Beastmaster can capture all sorts of different enemies, which means you can capture stuff that can cast magic. So it would be a way of sneaking some magic into a melee team, or, you know, weapons team. Whatever I want to call it, I haven't decided yet. Let me go buy some more tents, max the heals, and then we're gonna go, before I run out of time, we are gonna go show off a little bit of Marsh, just so you know what I'm getting into. Level 13 is, I'd say, maybe we're okay. Come on, run. Depending on the run for solo, this is about when Marsh might be doable, depending on your depending on your group. Or, well, for a 4-man group, you're fine, but for a solo, it's always different. Let's max our heal potions. Shouldn't need them, but might as well. We'll get a decent stash of pures, and probably spend the rest of our money on tents. Okay. Good. That's probably way more than we'll need. What do we got? 99 heals, 20 pures, perfect. 8, almost max tents, yeah, it's fine. If we even use half of those tents, I will be shocked. Anyway, I've definitely got some cool ideas for potential party runs that are not just all solo challenges, because, you know, I think for solo challenges, I like the hard ones because they make me think. I think doing another solo black belt and fighter is kind of redundant. Dragoon was a lot of fun, but, like, I don't need to do a whole bunch of Dragoon-like runs. I think promoted Dark Knight is similar because he can do an AoE darkness attack. He does take damage for it, but, like, it's probably not too... Oh, come on, really? I hate these things. Had such a good run just to get freaking geisted. But I'm trying to think of interesting solo runs. Obviously, Bard and Dancer were pretty interesting. I think Time something, like I said. Other ones that might be interesting. I'm curious how to do Solo Summoner, if it's possible or not, because of the challenges getting your summons on a solo. It might be too hard. I think New Game Plus might literally be impossible, and even normal might be very, very difficult. I think the Summoner's not very good in general, so that's rough. Of the other jobs that might be difficult, other than the ones we've already looked at, I think Green Mage is going to be tricky if we try that. Just slow, but maybe as my analog to White Mage, I'll give it a shot. I don't really think Blue Magic would be a challenge at all for solo. Too many status effects and good sweepers. Once you get the sweepers, you'll be fine. For, like, mostly fine. Like, you'll go fast anyway. You get a lot of kills. And the ability to focus fire once promoted should be a better boss killer than Black Wizard even. That said, Black Wizard gets some cool tricks in the ROM hack too, so I didn't really get to show it off much because in a full party it doesn't really come up. But theoretically, a new Black Wizard, their skill, their promoted skill, apparently I didn't really read it right. It's like literally sets enemy resistances to 0 or something, maybe even their like status protections. So I think the idea is you can set it up and then just use an insta-death spell and kill things, anything, even like chaos theoretically. So I haven't tested that yet, but maybe the old mage party I'll get around to stuff like that. Okay, here we go. So I think I showed this off during the Bard run, but in case you didn't see it, we can do a hard reset. And we kind of know the encounters at the top, well, the middle floor of Marsh. First one, fine. Not really great for most classes, but the Bard could kill these very easily. We have a little bit more work, but the drain thing works on scums. So we don't have to worry about getting only crits or something. Now, if you really want, you could try to avoid spending pure potions here by trying to time this, which I guess we might as well try, but we go Healing Waltz, Cleanses, but then we need to kill before we get hit, or at least before we get poisoned. So that one worked. Not very much XP, well, not very much gold. Okay experience. That fight is not really why we're here, but it's okay. Next fight. Bad. Not even gonna bother with that. Just dancing in the marsh. This will be twice as much XP, so I actually think the spiders are better. I mean, we'll add it up with 4. It's interesting because the Bard, this was great XP. Great XP per minute here. But also he killed them all in one shot rather than having to charge up. Or 2 shots. It depends on what level he was. Then again, he'd get poisoned and he couldn't do anything about it. Did I even learn all the songs with him? I think I learned all the songs. Just I didn't use them in the solo run, but oh, I guess I could have. Whatever. Could have got rid of the poison first. 330. Yeah, that's actually less. I didn't realize that. That's less than the Arachnid pack. I thought the Scums were actually really good XP. They're not bad, but not as good as I was thinking. Maybe the Mucks, the black ones, are better. I mean, they're more dangerous. But you can get Arachnids here. So this is another one of the fights that was pretty good for the Bard. I think the Arachnids can come in pretty large numbers in this group. Although I don't remember exactly. Maybe I should check the... Once we get to like number 4 or 5 down here in the list, maybe I should show off the swamp encounter pool. Because I don't think... That's not something... I think this Arachnid's almost dead from the crit. Yeah. Showing that off is not something I've done either much. Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of different encounter zones, and I know the swamp has some encounters I don't show off very often, because you can get overworld scorpions, so I'm not actually familiar with that. The enemies around here I'm not super familiar with, because you don't... I mean, there's never really a good reason to grind here. You're gonna have to spend a tent every turn to save anyways. Shadows. These guys were the kind of thing I was looking for. I think we get 2 battles of shadows in a row, if I remember correctly. And unfortunately, they do make your dance worse. That sucks. So it's minus 50% bravery while blinded. But you don't... Blinded is such a minor debuff. Normally, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, 2 shadows. I think this is as far as we go into the encounter list in Marsh, usually. At least when the Bard was doing it. I don't think you can actually heal off of undead, but you can still kill them. Let's save and check the next encounter or two, just in case. So yeah, this actually maybe was good for the Bard, but it might not be very good for the Dancer. Oh, Mucks. This was a pretty bad fight for the Bard, for sure. But for us, you can heal off Mucks. Just slurp it right up. Yeah, 2 Mucks is probably not too scary. We got really good turn order, but... Yeah, there's your pretty solid XP is that fight. But that's pretty deep into the encounter list. To just, like... If you could force that fight, yeah, that'd be great. But that's like 6 fights in or something. And then, yeah, this is where it gets bad. We can take a couple just to show. But double crawls, no way. Not even a thread's chance. Scums again, sure. I think it's like this and then more scums and then zombies and stuff. I definitely remember it getting less useful after the first 5. But that was, you know, Bard-minded, which is a weird mind to have. Alright. So all of that for... I didn't take a total, but... You know, some experience. Now let's just... Because it might be worth weaving some swamp encounters in, let's see what the list is up here. That's a Grimp Werewolf, no big deal. All Geists, no thank you. Is this just the same as west of... I think this is the same as west of Elfland. I thought there were scorpions here. Maybe it's not in this specific zone? Well, 3 in a arachnid pack. Maybe I should be using this, except near Elfland. Because you could go, what? If this is the same west of Elfland, you could go Ogre, 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 or Kaizoku, Ogre, Kaizoku, and then over here to arachnids. Theoretically. And this would be big XP. Especially if there's a large group. I'll think about it. Just on the hunt for the most efficient XP per minute right now. Hopefully not XP per hour. I guess if I get a level up, I'm not sure how long it will take. I'd like to try to get to the wizards on camera, but I have a pretty low hope of showing much off this episode. But, you know, maybe. Oh, come on. Poison. If only it gave, like, immunity to poison for a turn. Make it a little better. So yeah, 500, that's the same as the Muck fight. It's pretty good. So it was like 3 bad and then arachnids. Ogre's good. I'll take Ogre. I will test out at some point if these are the encounter groups outside of Elfland as well. I thought it was different here, but we're pretty close to that zone to the west of Elfland. So this maybe is just all the same. I can't remember the size of the boxes. I thought it was 6. No, it's gotta be more than 16 squares by 16. Maybe it's... Maybe it is 16 by 16, I don't know. But yeah, there's a sort of square blocks on the overworld. Each square has a set encounter table for it. And if you know where the lines are, which yeah, I don't. I have never I'm slowly getting more and more of that kind of info, but I usually don't go too deep down it. Is there like maybe like, it's like way down here? It's like the opposite of the Peninsula Power. I don't know. These are really good fights though. Dang. Maybe it really is bad fight time 3 and then Arachnid and just ogres. Maybe this is gonna be my new grind spot. This fight is gonna be a little bit spicy. I'm not sure if it's smarter to take the ogres down first or the Groger. The Groger hits a little harder but has more HP. So I think you take the ogres down quicker, but they make... Well, proportionally, it's probably worth it to kill them first. I think the Groger, the green ogre, although he hits harder, it's not much harder. Yeah, 672. That's the fight if you can win it. Let's just for interest's sake. I want science. We're doing a little bit more checks here, more than I usually do because the in-game bestiary is solid. 18 to 36 versus. That's only +5 base damage. That's not actually much more. I mean, high end is 10 more, but yeah, that's not too bad. And getting hundreds of XP like that, not bad. Okay, and then we get into garbage. I thought for sure, maybe it's like a rare encounter to get scorpions. I thought for sure I've seen them over here. But maybe they just could show up anywhere in this encounter group if you're unlucky. So let's reset to the beginning then, seeing as we're getting too many wolves now. Bad. Well, bad in the sense that werewolves I don't care about. Geist is definitely bad. More werewolves. So that's the 3 bad ones, and it should be good for a long stretch here. I mean, assuming you like arachnids. I used to think arachnids were bad, but hey, I made friends with the little guys. It's all good. Their sweet experience juices fuel me now. Pre-pirate fights, they actually dealt enough damage to be annoying. Now that we have the copper bracelet, they can barely even hurt us. They're just little guys. All right, 1380. Double ogre, nice. Should we just call it an Etten when this happens? The Etten encounter. I don't think there's any. You know, there are Ettins in, I think, FF2 as an enemy type. I haven't, you know, I've been talking about how Final Fantasy 1, I've been kind of trying to figure out all the original old school AD&D inspirations for all the enemies, because I don't know if every single enemy has a one-to-one correlation. I don't think it's necessarily true because the way sprite shuffling works or sharing with different color palettes, it's not like, you know, I can't remember exactly how many different enemy palettes there are, but there's usually 3-ish enemies of the same color, or the same palette, like same different color, but same shape or whatever, same image. So there's like 150 enemies. The bosses don't have repeats. Well, most of them don't have repeats. But pretty much everyone else has at least 2 or 3. So instead of 150, you're probably down to like between 50 and 75, maybe like unique, what am I trying to say? Unique monster types that just have color variations. So, you know, if that's your hardware limitation, can you really afford to try to make all 150 direct D&D rips? Or do you make 100 of them direct D&D rips, and then you're like, I don't know, we're gonna add some fish. Because Caribs don't really have an analog. They're piranhas, but there's not a lot of D&D. Like, nowadays there's like a swarm of, they're not actually called piranhas, they're, I forget the name. They're in the monster manual. I forget the non-piranha name for them, but it's a fish that bites people in the Amazon rivers or something. You know what it's supposed to be. Ooh, 1 HP. We're so close. I'm taking a bit more damage here than I thought I was. But yeah, so the Kareebs, like, there's not a lot of that. And then there's like red Kareebs. What are those supposed to be? Like murder fish? They're just, I don't know if there's really any direct D&D analog, right? It's just, you just got some of these added in. And I think crocodiles and white crocodiles are like that as well. There are giant crocodiles, of course. But I don't think there's anything like a giant albino crocodile. That's just something custom. So maybe it's like the legend of the white croc. It's not really a D&D thing. It's just some myth that they're like, hey, let's just, we need another monster that's strong for the northern rivers. Let's just take a croc and make it bigger. Does more damage, you know. And then I think it's translated as white, or is it F croc, like frost croc? I have to double check. I know it actually isn't ice elemental, and it always confused me as a kid. Because I'm like, why is this thing not weak to fire? Oh, because it's actually a water creature. But, you know, 6-year-old Ankylo didn't understand. Why name it something like that if you don't want it to actually be that element? And that's the weird translator stuff, because they didn't know maybe what the official names really even were. They're just looking at the picture. What is it? Is it a... Yeah, fur gator, right? Like, it looks like frost gator. It's really a white croc, which must be something someone read in a magazine or a hunting magazine or something. But, like, it is not ice at all. Like, that's... I remember looking at my cool old rollout unfoldable monster manual. I don't know if you guys had the original NES Final Fantasy 1 cartridge and everything. It had a really nice manual and a really nice unfoldable world map. And on the back were every monster, with not all the stats here, but most of the stats that are here. Half the stats that are here. And I remember identifying pretty early on, Frost Gator, ice. It's white, it looks like frost, okay. But it's weak to lightning, weird. But not fire, it's just the same. Now, usually there wouldn't be earth and water, because those didn't exist. But, how come that guy has the same... stuff as the gator? Because really they're both gators, one's just bigger. That's all. But yeah, just stuff like that. Like, there actually were bugs on, or there's a couple, I think 1 or 2 typos on the monster sheet on the back of that map. I can't remember, what were they, man? I remember like getting mad when I found out they were actually incorrect. I think maybe it was on Carrie? I think there's no such thing as water. It did not say status, I don't think. It might have said, like, hold or something. I forget how they worded it on the old manuals. Actually, no. Actually, I remember for sure. It's the fire elemental. I think the fire elemental said weak to fire or something, which was obviously wrong. I'd have to pull up my old copy, but I'm pretty sure he was always weak to ice, but it said he resisted ice and was strong to, or he was resistant to ice and weak to fire. And then I never thought he was weak to ice because I didn't know how the math worked. I couldn't prove that Ice 2 worked on him, but the manual said he was good against ice, so I think that was the big typo that I remember, actually, now that I think about it. Anyway, sorry. What was I doing? Memory lane. I miss... Oh, man. I don't want to sound like old man too much, but I miss the physical packaging. Like, not... the piles of plastic that we get for a lot of packaging, but like the box art. My dad, like, he was of the age that you would get LPs, you know, like big records. I don't know, the kids these days, you don't know, maybe they're making a resurgence, but you know, old record players basically. And he was into like Zeppelin and all that kind of stuff. And man, the cover art on some of those, like, they're big, like they're, I don't know how big I don't know the dimensions exactly, but they're bigger than a piece of paper, right? Like, they're large. And the artwork was oftentimes really, really quality. And that's, like, he kept a lot of them around just to look at. And yeah, that's the kind of thing I miss about some of the old NES, Super Nintendo, N64 pre was much okay. But, like, after that, it started fading really quickly. Cut down on packaging costs and eventually, like, it's just a download code for the Nintendo store or something. Just buy a PS4 subscription and you can get your game. Thanks for buying nothing. I think, like, I remember on, like, the Nintendo DS or the 3DS, I remember those, because they're kind of smaller packages, smaller smaller cartridges, and they'd have the cartridge, but just a piece of paper that says, yeah, download. Here's a scan code to go download the manual or something. Here's how you get a PDF of the manual for the game. And I remember being so disappointed. Like, I get it, it saves them a few pennies per copy, but I don't know, kids. There's this. We'll just go on a small little Ankylo rant here. I shouldn't be fighting these. I want to get to the wizards before we run out of time. We're already over time, but I want to fight the wizards once just to show you if we're anywhere near winning. But you know, I hear stories about kids in varying ages. We're probably dead. That's an ambush. There's very low chance of surviving. Ooh, low is not zero. Yeah, a 4-pack of Scorpion Ambush is brutal solo. But yeah, like, I've heard, I believe, trustworthy reports that the average reading comprehension of graduates from high school and stuff is kind of on the decline, and kind of different opinions on why that is, but maybe it's because they're not reading enough video game manuals. Right? Don't just watch a YouTube video on how to play a game, guys. You gotta read the manual. That's how I learned how to read. Maybe not only that, but it was a factor. It helped. I actually really liked reading the stories in those manuals. Do you remember? I don't know if you guys remember, but I didn't have a ton of games growing up, but I really liked the ones I had because they were very precious. And we had not Zelda 1 on the NES, but I had Zelda 2, which is, you know, the kind of black sheep one. Anyway, I remember the booklet that came with it, literally a little booklet, and it wasn't like high quality writing. Let me get it straight. We're not talking friggin' Shakespeare and Jane Eyre and stuff. This is just like loosely translated to English, not like high paid authors, I don't think. But they had a little story of what happened between the games and what Link was doing. I can't remember it anymore, but like Zelda 2 was the one where it was like not the same Link as the first game. This was generations in the future, if I remember correctly. And I was really into that as a kid, like reading the stories of the games, and like it definitely helped get me interested in reading real books at a young age. So although the instruction manual for my video games just sort of whetted my appetite, just got me started, then once I'm like, okay, I want real stories, then I start reading whatever, like The Hobbit, stuff like that, right? Like fantasy stories and bigger books as time went on. Not to say I'm super kid genius or anything, I just averagely competent reader, maybe. But everything's digital, everything's video now, right? Like, even something as trivial as a book to play a game with instructions almost doesn't exist. It's PDFs at best, or like video tutorials, maybe? I don't know how often that really happens. I mean, I'm literally contributing here on the I'm part of the problem too. But yeah, if I was a kid, I'd be watching someone play a video game. I don't know. I did like. I'm not even trying to exaggerate. I did really like reading those books. I was a reader for sure. So, but I would also have definitely spent some time watching people let's play if that had been an option. No doubt about that. I guess I've been hooked from a young age. Alright, we're getting close to one attempt at wizards. I would really like to at least get one showing. Just because I'd like to get a check on, like, how many levels do I need? I'm gonna say some, because 14 doesn't feel strong enough. Basic stats, we're a long way from 3 swings with our dagger. But I don't think it's really... Well, damage is part of it, but it's not the same as usual. We have the dances. Let me... Seeing as we're finally going to get this fight, I think. The hit rate on the wizards, 94. I wonder if this is where the hit rate lowering dance finally shines. Because theoretically, they do get 2 attacks. But maybe 94 is low enough that we could get minus 30 evade if we want, or plus 30 evade. Is that... I don't know if that's literally 94 minus 30 is 64. 64 means maybe even just 3 or even 2 should be pretty good. And once we have 3 or 4 quick steps, we should be basically not hit at all, outside of crits, which, you know, crits cheat. What are their crit rate? Their crit rate is very low, but they do get 2 attacks, so it's a little higher. Anyway, let's see. Average luck, 2 to 4. Still, I think the odds are infinitesimal here. 80 damage, 100 damage. We're killed in 1 round. Now, they got a little lucky on their damage rolls, I think. I don't think they do that every time, but yeah. 3 is probably not plausible. So let me just do a little bit of math. They're going to average 45 damage, 2 attacks. If they miss never, they're going to do 90 damage on average. Yeah, 3 of them actually. If they never miss, 3 will, on average, kill me at 250 health. Well, I didn't factor in my absorb. It's a little bit less than that. It's 45 minus 7 on average is 38. Times 2 is 76. Times 3 attacks is 218. So, okay, on average, they shouldn't have killed us, technically. But, like, we're not killing one of them per turn, so there's no way. Now, if there's 2 of them, we could probably survive 1, maybe 2 rounds. On the second round, we would have to do something important. We can't do a waltz. It'd have to be a drain. And if we got lucky, that kills 1. And then we're probably dead. So we need enough health and enough damage that we can attack, drain Samba, kill and heal a little bit. Next turn, attack, drain Samba, kill the second one. And I think it has to be 2 wizards, and it has to go just like that. And I don't think we're really very close. Level 14 was a big HP level. The next big HP level, unfortunately, is 17. So I'm going to say level 17 is probably the minimum for this to be viable. Level 20 is the next one for actual significant HP gains. And we're not going to get another swing, which mostly doesn't matter, until 64 hit rate. That is 18% away, 9 levels. So level 23, that was the thief killing Astos level. I hope we don't have to go that far. Yeah. It's a bit harsh. I haven't won this fight as a dancer yet, so I think we're already quite over episode length. I'm definitely gonna end it here, and I'm gonna grind a lot, because I think this might literally be the hardest fight for the dancer outside. Like, the pirates were tough, but we could grind pretty quickly. This grind will be slower because the XP is going to get harder and harder to get. And I might end up back at the Power Prince. I'll let you guys know next time. But I need to find an efficient XP grind for my relatively fragile dancer. And at least 17, if not 20. Hopefully not 23. And if I need to go higher than that, it gets rough. Things start running away hard once you're into the 20s. Early game things start running away. So anyway, yeah, we're going to end our episode here. This leaves me lots of time for the next couple days to do some grinding for the next episode. Now, to be fair, I am not stat maxing. So this is more legit in a way than the Bard run and my test run, because I did do a solo thief as well on my own just to prove I still got it. But I maxed those out, so they always had the maximum strength, agility, and luck, and a fair bit of extra vitality. This dancer is just getting random normal levels, and usually getting the minimum, apparently. So this is kind of a proof, it's a proof of concept. If I get hard locked, and it's like I need another 10 levels to kill, it doesn't mean it's impossible. At that point, maybe stat maxing would get me there, or just really, winning the lottery style luck. But I don't think it's going to be too bad. I just think we need a lot of hit points and a really good turn order and only 2 wizards, which is kind of the case for a lot of solo runs. So maybe it won't be too bad, but we'll see. Anyway, that's all for this episode. Unfortunately, the way the dancer works, unless I get a ton of base damage, we're not going to kill a wizard on the first turn, because we're very unlikely to do enough like normal swinging damage to get that one shot, and that's what really gets the win in your books. Like the thief kills one on a lucky crit. There's only one left. Even if it takes a couple turns, he's probably okay. We're not going to get that like burst first round kill. The dancer has setup time, which makes it a little dicey. Yeah, I don't think there's any way we're one-shotting a wizard outside of really lucky criticals. Okay, let's end the episode. I got work to do. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you next time for more Final Fantasy.